Hi, I'm Mark Dunn, your Merchant Services trainer. It's important to understand the basic structure of merchant services, sometimes called bank card acquiring. By far the most recognized brand names in bank card are Visa and MasterCard. They're often just called the card brands. For more than 50 years, Visa and MasterCard have been at the top of the merchant payment world. Most merchants don't understand the relationship between the card brands, the banks, and themselves. It's really not all that important that they know every fact and detail of how merchant services works, as long as they keep in mind several key facts. First, the card brands make the rules for bank card processing, and merchants have to abide by them. The card brands set the interbank fee structure for processing called interchange. Now, merchants don't pay interchange, but merchants do pay fees called merchant discount fees. And number three, Granite Payments is registered with the card brands to do merchant processing. And Granite Payments can show the merchant how to keep merchant discount fees to a minimum. Visa and MasterCard are essentially bank associations. They started as not-for-profit associations of member banks. They're now both publicly traded entities, having gone public in 2006 and 2008. Visa and MasterCard are two separate and individual groups, but they have broad similarities and they operate essentially in the same manner. The bank card associations are in business to build the Visa and MasterCard brands. Visa and MasterCard are continually developing new card issuing and merchant acceptance programs. For example, before 1996, very few grocery stores or supermarkets accepted credit cards for purchases of groceries. In 1996, the card associations launched a special promotional program for supermarkets, which established a lower interchange rate. This allowed supermarkets to begin accepting credit cards. Visa and MasterCard operate their own separate interchange systems. Interchange refers to the internal rate structure of fees assessed to banks for the processing of their merchant transactions. Please note that interchange is not the charge assessed to the merchant. Interchange is always the underlying fee charged to the bank. Visa and MasterCard review and typically update interchange fees in April and October of every year. Now let's look at an example. The interchange fee for a U.S. Rewards Visa card in a chip card transaction at a U.S. merchant where the cardholder is present is currently set at 1.65% and 10 cents per transaction. That's CPS Rewards 1. But if the same card is used to order goods online in the U.S., the interchange fee is 1.95% and 10 cents a transaction, and that's called CPS Rewards 2. Finally, Visa and MasterCard set the rule structure for how their associations work. These rules cover every aspect of how these organizations, their members, their registered ISOs, and their agents may act. The association set policies for violations of these rules, and they may levy fines for any violations. The rules are called the operating regulations, and they're available on their respective websites. So let's also talk for a moment about American Express and Discover. These are financial institutions that function very much like the card brands and their bank members, but they're not banks themselves. We call these organizations non-bank financial institutions, or NBFIs. What differentiates an NBFI from Visa and MasterCard is that an NBFI is both issuer and acquirer in one single organization. NBFIs do not need to have an interchange system. To be sure, NBFIs have their own fee structure, but it is simply a merchant fee structure assessed directly to the merchant. So you may be asking, where do the smaller banks come into it? Well, frankly, most small banks today don't play a role in bank card acquiring. Most banks do have a bank card issuing program, but bank card acquiring is pretty complex, requires a special set of operations capabilities, and most banks decided a long time ago that it just wasn't for them. As a result, most banks refer their merchants to a trusted partner for merchant processing. And that's where you come in. Your bank has chosen Granite Payment Alliance as its trusted partner for merchant processing, and you play a key role to helping the merchant get this important payment processing service working for them. You need to get the merchant's information on Granite Payment's referral system so that a merchant services professional can get the merchant set up. Granite Payments does the rest. And you can rest assured that Granite Payments will treat your banking client with the same care and attention that you give them. So until next time, keep helping your clients get the best payment processing through Granite Payments. I'm Mark Dunn.